Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Make sure before you get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button down the bottom. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications when I upload new videos from business owners that I am doing a review for or doing an interview for. We have with us Miss Danielle, Miss Danielle Duncan. Um, Miss Danielle, if you want to start by introducing yourself to the YouTubers.
Well, hi everyone. My name is Danielle Bertrand, formerly Duncan. So I wrote the book before I got married. So I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm the author of ItsGoTime, a book written to empower women to get off the sideline and go after everything with their name on it. A lot of women get so caught up in being a mother and being just everything for everybody, which is fine, but they begin to put their dreams to the side. And God did not create you to put your dreams down. He created you with a purpose as well. So the book is all about creating relationships, healthy relationships, having a support system around you to make sure that you actually do fulfill your purpose here on earth. Being a mother and everything else is great, but something will not come to this earth if you don't fulfill your purpose outside
Awesome,
of that.
awesome. Well, first I want to ask you, when did you first start, being a writer?
I didn't want to write this book. Well, I'll just be honest. I had no intentions of writing a book. But I started writing. I started journaling every day about 6 years ago. So journaling became very therapeutic. I would write Dear Daddy letters. So I would write letters to God, like kind of telling him about my day, my prayer requests, and all that stuff. So I have about 20 journals filled from over the years. And so finally, I just felt impressed, like it's time to write a book. And I was like, but the only time I write is when nobody else has to read it. And so it kept being pushed and pushed and pushed. And I was like, oh, I would start and then I would stop. I would start and stop. And then I remember asking God, well, what's the next step? And he was like, nothing until you finish writing the book. And like, I was like, okay. So I had to finish one assignment before we could even move on. And even when I finished writing the book, my plan was to just let it sit in my laptop. I had no plans of getting it published at all. I was like, God, I'm done. And he was like, girl, you know, that ain't what I meant. I meant for you to publish it for other people to read it. So we went through that whole process. The devotional part in the book was actually added on at the very end. That was never part of the original plan, but I just felt like it's 21-day devotional. And I know if you have a habit for 21 days, if you start something, you will continue it. So it's just getting people in the mindset to read something every day that encourages them, that pushes them to the next level. So that's why the devotional was added, but I did not want to write the book. I'm glad I did, but it wasn't my plan.
Hey, that's how it works. You know, God's plan is always different than our plan.
Yes.
So it's just like Jonah and the whale. You know, he tells you to do something. He told Jonah to do something, and Jonah was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go off and do whatever I want to do. And he had to stop and put Jonah in the mouth of the whale in order to get him to do what he told him to do. So obedience is always good when it comes down to God, because everything he has for us is for the greater good. So definitely, thank you so much for being obedient and writing this book, because I know this book is going to totally just help empower, not only women, but men. You can take that and apply it to your life, no matter, where you're at in your life, because I found myself doing that, writing myself in the areas of where you're talking about and applying it to my life. So, I mean, I guess it's safe to say your inspiration was, but God, I mean, what was your definite inspiration for doing all this?
Because I was tired. I was tired of living a life full of routine. I was like, God, I just get up, I go to work every day. We were teaching dance in the evening. I was like, I know the dance practice. I grab something quick to eat, go to sleep, and do it all over again. I was like, there has to be more there. Like I went to college. I even have my master's at this point. Like, there has to be more. And He was like, well, there is, but you have to go get it. Like, it's not
Yes.
just gonna fall out the sky. And so
Yes, ma'am.
honestly, girl, it's go time. He was really telling me, girl, it's go time. Like, it's time to move your feet. Like, you've been stagnant for far too long. You've become complacent. You're in a job and you enjoy what you're doing, but you're sitting there like, I know I could be doing so much more. I could be traveling. I could be doing so much more. And it was becoming frustrating. And I tell a lot of people, you know, when it's go time, because you're frustrated in something you used to love doing. That means it's time to elevate. That means it's time to seek out new opportunities, because if it was something that you loved and now it's like, oh, I got to do this again, it's because you have stopped growing, most likely in that position or wherever you are. Not to say you will totally dismiss whatever that is, but it's time to go to a different level. For me, I was teaching, but I was teaching the same thing year after year. And I was like, the kids, they were learning because it was new to them, but I wasn't growing anymore. So
Refreshing.
it was time to go. It was time to, yes, it was time to break the cycle that I had found myself in. It's something I really enjoy doing, but it was time to move on to a different place to do it at and to elevate. So.
All right, awesome. That sounds like a winner right there. You got to refresh what you're doing.
Yes.
You got to keep it fresh. That's like it's food. You know, you put food
Yeah.
out there, and the food has to be put in the refrigerator to be, refreshing. So you need to refresh what you was doing. So that's awesome. I love it. Um, well, how did you find time to, actually, do these things with such a busy life? I mean, we're as mothers, we wear so many different hats. We're mothers. We're some of us are wives. Some of us are playing mama role, mama daddy role at the same time, and just all these different things that's pulling at us. How did you find time to actually, sit down and do the writing?
I didn't find time. I made time. I literally
Awesome.
said, this is happening. This is happening
Awesome.
today. It's happening. I even in the book I wrote, today is whatever day it is. I'm supposed to be at work, but guess what? Those kids have a substitute. They're going to be fine. I need to write this book. So I had to
Awesome.
make time out of my busy schedule, because if I didn't, it was never going to get done. Something always is going to come up, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to do, something is always going to come up to get you away from that. So you have to be disciplined enough to say, you know what, I have to complete this assignment. This assignment is for me. And if I don't complete it, somebody else will. And then I'm going to be looking crazy like, dang, I was supposed to do that. And God, like, well, you was dragging your feet. So, and I had to get it done. So I didn't want that to be me. I didn't want somebody to come out with basically the same book that I was supposed to write. So I was like, you know what? He'll give you some grades, but at a certain point, he like, so you gonna do it or not? Like, what's next? And so I literally would, even on my lunch break, I would write. So people go and eat and go and do all this stuff, I'm writing. So there is time in everybody's day. You just have to purpose it for whatever that is that you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to learn more, listen to a podcast. You might not be able to sit and read a book, but there are ways. In the way we have technology now, you can do anything. You just have to make the time to do it. It's never just gonna be like, oh, I just got all this free time. That rarely happens, but you have to make the time. Like, you make the time to go to the doctor. You make the time to go to the gym. You have to put it in your calendar. At 10
All right.
o'clock, this is what I'm doing. So that's what I had to do.
Awesome. I love it. Great, great nuggets for people. You got to make time for the things you got to do. It's not going to just find you. You got to make that time. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, I want to know specifically how did you come up with the name of the book, and what made you name it that specifically? I know you said, okay, God was saying, girl, it's go time. What made you want to name it that specifically?
Well, the way I started writing the book, teacher and me, I did a bubble map, a concept map, and I was like, what are some topics that I can talk about, that I have experience in, that I'll be able to give wisdom about? So I drew a bubble map. I didn't have a title for the book yet. And I just wrote out different topics. And so the topics were, they were like, some of them were about finances and some of them were about friendships and stuff. I was like, okay, this is a variety of different things, but how can we pull this together in one book? And when I thought about it, I was like, okay, all of these things are needed to go to the next level. So I kept hearing, hey, it's go time, it's go time. And then it was like, that's it, girl, it's go time. And that resonated with me. And I knew it would resonate with other people who were in the same situation that I was, who were living a life of routine or just feeling like there has to be more to life, not feeling like it, knowing there was more for you to be doing, but you just didn't know how to get there. And so that's how the book came across.
Awesome. I love it. Well, with you having this awesome book right here, we're going to, so everybody can see the cover right there.
Look, I got my copy too.
Yes, ma'am. What are your future plans for writing?
I don't know. Like, I've been thinking maybe something soon. I also have a devotional that is just a devotional as well on my website. But I've been moving in the lane of, so my major is small business and entrepreneurship, and I have a master's in teaching. So I've been moving into the lane of like business coaching. So I'm thinking my next book will be something to help female entrepreneurs that are just getting started or just, trying to find their way, because I understand how to navigating that, especially if you're still working a full-time job, can be difficult. And especially if you don't have a degree in business and you just have a great idea of how to get that actually up and running to make the six figures that you dreamed of making. So that, I think that would be my next book endeavor, more geared toward female entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Awesome. And that is much, much needed in our society, because, with everything, with the pandemic, a lot of people are gravitating toward having their own business. And sometimes your desire is much bigger than your know-how. So you desire to do something, but how do I do that? So I find that a lot in the different groups that I'm admin over is people say that they want to, do things and they don't know how to. So, and the different know how to can be custom toward who you are, or who you're representing, whether we're talking about the Black community or we're talking about the women or we're talking about the men and so forth. So each know-how can be customized according to where you fit in society. So definitely. I love it. Well, after completing this particular project, how did it change you? Because I know you want to change others, but how did it change you?
Like everything changed, everything, literally everything. So we've only been in Dallas. It'll be a year, October 6th. We only been here a year, but since the release of the book, I've been in magazine articles, I've been the front page, the cover story of magazines. I started a coaching business. I do business plans now. Like everything changed. Like he literally meant when you finish this, everything is going to change. So, I can only imagine if I wouldn't have done it, where I would be right now. And I don't even want to think about it. But I'm just glad that I did. I'm just glad that I did it, because it's opened up so many. I wouldn't be talking to you right now if I hadn't finished the book. So it opened up so many opportunities to network and to be a woman. I speak now. I do, speaking engagements, but all of that literally came because I finished the book. So I just want to encourage you, or whoever is watching, if he told you to finish something, even though it might be hard, it might not be something you want to do, something great is on the other side of that. But you will never get there if you never complete the assignment to move on to the next one. So everything, zip code, last name, tie, everything changed when I finished the book.
Awesome. Well, last but not least, let me ask you, what would you want people to know about you that they cannot read about or they cannot see on your social media handles? What you would want people to know specifically about you?
One thing I get to guess I would want people to know, even though you see me speaking very confidently right now, I did not grow up like this. I was the shy one. I did not want to talk. And it wasn't that I didn't want to talk. I didn't think my voice was valuable. I didn't think what I had to say was important. So I didn't grow up really. So, I mean, I had friends, but I was never the one who was like, oh, also social. And so I just want to encourage you that if that's you, if you find like, I don't know if people are going to listen to me, or I don't know if what I have to say is important, it is. But you'll never know, and they'll never know if you never open your mouth. So I grew up
All
doing
right.
liturgical dance in church, and I loved it. And when people would see me dance versus just see me walking around, they was like, that was you, because I would turn into a whole different person. Like, I had
Mm.
all the confidence in the world. But when they would just see me, I was quiet, like, hey, whatever. But that was the Holy Spirit they saw when I was dancing too. So that was a whole
Right.
nother anointing on my life when I was dancing. But so I always thought that was it. I would only dance for God, and that was it. I never thought I would speak for Him. And I remember having a dream, and He showed me with a microphone in my hand, and I was like preaching or something speaking. And I was like, not me. I must be in somebody else's dream or something going on. And literally, He has transformed who I am into who He said I was. Even though I didn't see it or I didn't think it was possible, here I am doing it. And to know that it started from being somebody that was super quiet to now having all the confidence in the world to speak to however many people at
Awesome.
at great levels. So that's something you might not see on social media, that I was really quiet.
All right, that's an inspiration for all those who say I have nothing to do, I have nothing to offer. All little old me. That's an inspiration to know that yes, you are greater than what you think you are. You're greater for where you're at right now. It's a better version to you out there. So awesome inspiration. I love it. Well, tell YouTube how to get in touch with you, as well as I'm gonna plug in your links as well within the
Okay.
description.
Gotcha. My website is www.girlisgotime.com. So you never have to forget us. On Instagram is at girlisgotime or at Mrs. Danielle Bertrand. On Facebook is Girl Is Go Time or Danielle Bertrand. I'm very active on all those social media panels. So feel free to reach out to me. I love connecting with everyone. I have some workshops coming up, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Like, that's my heart for female entrepreneurs, to really see them succeed in every way, because you've been told so many things that you can't do, and I'm here to tell you you can, and we will.
All right.
So please feel free to connect.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Miss Danielle. Now pronounce your last name for me.
Bertrand.
Bertrand. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry.
No, I
Miss
didn't say
Danielle
anything.
Bertrand. Check out her social medias. Make sure you get her book. It's an awesome book. And I will just tell you like this, to be transparent, I was one of those people that did not read. I was always the kid that stood back and didn't read because I read really, really slow. I was a good math student, but I wasn't a good reading student, wasn't a good writing student. And here I am, being an author, and here I am actually having a book club
Yes.
group, and I actually read this book. I mean, quite a bit ways in. I mean, just in one setting. So,
Yes.
it's a really good book, and I thank you so much for allowing me to feature you on my platform. Thank you for allowing me for you to be my featured artist in my book club,
Thank you.
and just thank you for being you. Awesomeness.
Thank you. Thank you
All
for the
right,
opportunity.
you're welcome. Thank you. All right, everybody out there, be blessed, be safe. Thank you so much, Miss Danielle.
You're welcome.